What's going on, guys? Dr. Natty here from Myokinetix Physical Therapy and Performance. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can stop yourself from the ACL tear or the ACL re-tear. The number one risk factor that people are saying, and the research is showing, is that is poor neuromuscular control. What does that mean? That just means you're having a hard time controlling your body in space, especially when you're landing or when you're cutting, right? That means when you go to cut or when you go to land, your knee is actually going inward like so. What we talk about here is the dynamic knee valgus. You notice how my hip is not loading, my knee is going inward, my ankle is collapsing. So when you do that, you actually put the ACL at risk. So I'll show you under this knee model right here. So this is a regular knee. If you go into that valgus position, you see how the knee is stressed. Now if I show you in the back from here, when you start twisting inward, you can see that ACL is actually going through full stress, and that's when you feel that pop, and that's how the ACL tear happens. So the video today, I'm gonna go over some dynamic drill that we actually give people, our patients, to do when they are actually rehabbing from knee injury or if they're actually rehabbing from the ACL tear. So let's get right into that. All right, guys, so if you guys like this channel, you like this video, please subscribe so you can keep more of our content going. But let's get right into our first exercise. So the first thing I like to do is challenge you in a single leg stance. And most of the time when we just stand on one leg, it's a lot easy, right? But when we go in a real life scenario where you're actually cutting, changing direction, guess what? You're always gonna be challenging with different force of movement where you have to move side to side. So this exercise will prepare you for that, right? So all we're gonna do, the first thing is you get a kettlebell, you stand on one leg like so, in a good athletic position, and all we're gonna do, we're slowly pass the kettlebells from side to side. Notice when I pass this way, I have to really stabilize my hip so my knee doesn't follow. And we don't want that, right? Because we don't want the knee to be in a predisposed position. So you're gonna go do this as part of your rehab right here. This is how you teach your brain to create stability by loading your ankle, your foot, your knee, and your hip. And most importantly, your core as well. So I like to do this for higher reps. So we're gonna go 12 to 15 reps here. So there and back count as one, right? You notice I just lost my balance right there. So I need to focus on that because it's this inward movement that will drive the knee going forward. This is why this exercise is crucial for you to do. And if you do it right, you feel burning into your hips right here. Go side to side. And again, you wanna be able to do this on both sides, right? So you always wanna end on good reps. So when you're done with that, switch leg, get in good position right here, load your core, load your hips, slowly go side to side. So this is how you start building that neuromuscular control where your brain learn how to control your body. And it's a good prerequisite before we do any cutting or changing of directions, right? It's gonna teach you how to control your body when that knee's going to valgus. Oh, and then, again, you see this? If it's challenging for me, it's gonna be challenging for you, but guess what? If you do this enough time, you're gonna have way better confidence when you're going back on the field. Again, 12 to 15 reps, 3 to 4 sets. All right, guys, second exercise is gonna teach you how to control that knee valgus in a more dynamic manner, right? This is more like a reacting thing that you need to be able to do when you get back on the field. So all you need is a med ball. I go with 8 pounds, you can go from 5 to 8, right? Something you can control nice and light. All we're gonna do, get into that single leg stand, and we're gonna slowly shop down. It's called a med ball shop drill. And notice I shop to the outside first to teach my body how to land, right? And making sure that my knee doesn't go inward, right? I like to do 10 reps on the outside, 10 to 12. And then as you get better, you can start going inward. This one's gonna be more challenging because the knee wants to follow the ball. And as you're doing this and you're getting better, you can go side to side, here, right? You can increase the speed in which you do the exercise, or you can increase the duration of how long you hold it for. If you do this right, you feel your hips burning, and the arch of your foot will also be challenged as well because you'll learn to stabilize your body. And you're gonna do this on both sides, right? So you're gonna go left and right. The left one's gonna be more challenging for me, so I gotta start out nice and slow. So again, make this part of your routine, especially when you're rehabbing, or if you're healthy and injury-free, please add this as part of your routine as well. So that way you can stay injury-free throughout this whole time. Okay, so the next exercise is gonna be an even more dynamic med ball toss, right? So from here, we're gonna go into our single leg stands again, right? Think about loading your core, loading your hips. From here, I'm gonna slowly throw the ball against the wall and I'm gonna catch. It's mimicking you taking contact or try to just change direction quickly. So that way you can learn to load your hips. Notice that I'm really fighting to stay balanced as I'm catching and as I'm throwing at the same time. So when I throw, I load my hip. When I catch, I stabilize my core. Oh, and I'm losing balance there. So as you're doing this, make sure you go nice and slow so you can feel where you're losing your balance. And then as you get better, you just increase the speed in which you throw. I'll do on this side so you can see the side. I'm loading this hip, right? Loading the hip, throw, catch. See how the left side is much harder for me, right? Again, I don't have any knee pain or injury. I still make this part of my routine. Because the best way to prevent injury is to train like you have one. Again, when I do this, I try to go 12 to 15 reps, 3 to 4 sets. It's part of that routine. Now I'm gonna go to our last exercise, which is the most dynamic one, and it's the most important one, and we like to use this one as a litmus test of how ready people are to go back on the field and how good they are at their motor control. All right, guys, the last exercise I have is a depth drop. What that means is that this mimics deceleration where you need to stop or when you're jumping and landing, but on single leg. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna pick a box that's like relatively high where you can control, and you wanna slowly teach your body to learn how to absorb weight and put your weight into your hips and engage in your core. So that way the knee is not going inward, right? So we're gonna slowly step down, drop, hold. See how I put the weight in my hips here and the knee is not going side to side. You're gonna see that the knee is gonna go side to side, but your job is to learn how to stabilize that knee, right? So with this, we wanna do 8 to 6 reps, right? Focus on quality of movement as you drop. And again, if you're new to this, you can use this leg to help you lower yourself down, then catch yourself with the leg. As you get better, you don't have to use this leg to lower, you can just drop down. So you see that's more forceful. It's gonna actually require a lot of control on your end. And again, we're always landing on our midfoot. We don't wanna land on the heels, right? Because we wanna stay athletic as possible in the athletic position. All right, I'll do it with the other leg. Again, one cue I like to give is when I land, I wanna put my weight in my back pocket, right? So I'm landing here, putting weight in my back pocket so I engage my hips immediately. There you go. And if one side is having a hard time, focus more on that side, do a little more reps. So on my left one, I tend to do 8 to 12. Land soft, load the hips. Awesome. So those are the exercises I have for you guys to really fix that knee valgus that you have to prevent your ACL tear or the re-tear if you already tear once, right? And again, if you guys like this video, we have other videos that we created. So we have one where your must-do home exercise for single leg to actually help you strengthen your legs, right? We also have a quad strengthening exercise that we did for ACL to get your quad a lot stronger. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.